Alright, welcome to KnifeTest.com, and this is the Busse FFBM Fusion Battle Misters test, destruction test. This is the one I've been waiting for a year, as I know many of you have. So, well, I finally got it in the other day. So, well, here it is. That's it. Not quite what I expected. A little bit different, I guess. It was supposed to be the fat one, but this one's a little on the thin side, man. I don't know. It's a little anorexic. But I don't know. Well, they all get the same shot here, so at KnifeTest.com. So we'll see what this Busse can do, man. Well, anyways, let's try it out. I'm just kidding with you guys. Thought I'd play a little joke. Here she is right here. The FFBM. This is the fat one. So it measures about 0.130 inches in thickness. It's very, very fat. This is going to be this is the biggest, heaviest, thickest blade I've tested to date. I haven't done anything even close to this. See how thick this thing is. See the tip on this mother. And that is one heavy duty tip. Got some really nice red and black handles on it. It's got a really nice finish on it also, but not too much longer. It feels like it's got a pretty good edge on it. It doesn't feel super sharp, but I mean, this is a very, very thick blade. So I guess it's going to be a trade-off in your sharpness when you got this type of thickness. It's going to be harder to work down an edge on that type of stock. But we'll see how well it can cut. I haven't done anything with it. I haven't even cut a piece of paper with it yet. This is just the way it came from the Busse factory. Just like this. Well, it was wrapped in some plastic. Okay, well, the time's here, so let's see what this thing can do. Okay, well, it's time to get it dirty. Looks nice, but it's time to do her in. Let's see what she's got. We'll go ahead and start with the apple peeling. Now that's a big knife, a big thick knife, man. It's not exactly your paring knife, but we'll give it a shot. It's taking the peeling off it. Gotta kind of baby it though. It's so bloody thick. Alright, well, didn't do too bad actually for considering how heavy this knife is, but took off some Yeah. We peeled it pretty fine. We don't have much apple left on the peeling, actually. So I shaved it pretty close, and we still got all the apple pretty much. So not a bad deal. All right, go ahead and slice the apple now, like we normally do. This is a hard test. I don't know if the battle mistress can take this, but we'll see. Yeah, it's just when you got this type of thick knife, man, these things are not apple slicers. That's about as thin as I can get with it. But it does, but it with some effort. Alright, well that concludes the end of the test. I'm taking off to Mexico with this baby. See y'all later. Okay, well we'll go ahead and try the webbing. See how well this thing cuts. Now you know really quick how a knife cuts with this webbing. If it doesn't want to cut, it doesn't want to cut. Actually not too bad. First cut. Yeah. Actually glides through the webbing quite easy. Not too bad. Alright, let's do some control too. We can do some control cutting with it. Yeah, awesome. That's pretty good. Yeah, definitely not bad. It definitely cuts. There's no doubt about that. Like I said, this webbing is very cut resistant, and it needs to have a good edge and a good geometry to cut this stuff. If it doesn't, it just won't do it. It's not too bad. Tears right through it, or cuts right through it. I'm sorry. Nice. Alright, cool. We'll come back to this. So far, so good. Okay, now we're going to take the Battle Mistress and baton through some 4x4s. We'll do 2 of them using a wooden baton. Alright, here we go. Wedged it in there. Get her out. big blade like that really wedges it in there. Get it out. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, that's a 2x4. I got it.
So did I give it to you?
Here we go. Alright, well, Battle Mistress 1, Baton 0. This one probably ain't gonna hold up either. Alright, we got through one. The edge still looks good. I don't see any rolling or anything. We got the finish nice and scratched up. Alright, 4x4 number 2. Tom's gonna that one was easier. Okay, well, we got through those 2x4s. Now, it took a little work on the first one, but the blade's pretty thick. I've never batoned with a blade this thick, but you know, sometimes you see sometimes they got knots in them, these 4x4s, and it's natural wood, so that can happen. Sometimes they're tough, sometimes they're easy to get through, but I knocked the hell out of it. Broke one of my batons. Second one held up. But yeah, so far so good. Okay, now we'll go back to the webbing. So we lost any of our edge. Still feels the same. Do some control cutting. Do one more piece. Yeah, we still do plenty of control cutting, so we still have a good edge on it. All the baton didn't take any edge off. cuts clean. Okay, now we'll move on to some chopping of a 2x4. See how quick we can get through it with this FFBM. Alright, here we go. Damn it. Well, we chop it and split it at the same time. Now see, you just don't chop them with a FFBM, you just break them. Awesome. Alright, we'll try that again. I knew it was going to do that. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, here we go. 2x4 number 2. Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, I can get the 2x4 pretty quick, no problem, man. A few hits and shit. I told you it's heavy, man. Yeah. Alright, man, well, we annihilated the 2x4s in no time at all. I'm going to go ahead and move up to a 4x4 with this one. And with the FFBM because it's so heavy. So we'll see how well it can get through this 4x4. Alright, here we go. Alright, go. Alright, just couldn't get through that little last bit. But, we ate through that 4x4 pretty quick. Cool. And this is a beast when it comes to chopping, man, because it's just so bloody heavy. Never picked one of these up. Man, this thing has just got so much forward weight to it. It just has so much impact. Just really goes through it quick. Okay, well, this is my combat grade battle misters. One I did in the field test, and of course this is the FFBM. So what I'm going to just go ahead and do while I've got the FFBM, I want to just kind of do a little comparison chopping between the two. So I'm going to go ahead and, we just chopped through a 4x4 with the FFBM, so now I'm going to go ahead and try it with the combat grade, see what the difference is. I'll tell you what, right now though, I thought the combat grade felt heavy, but feels, and this combat grade feels very lightweight now compared to the FFBM. So anyways, we'll go ahead and start that. Same 4x4, so we'll use the combat grade now and chop through a piece. Ready? Let's go. I always have trouble with this last little bit. Doesn't get in there. Like I say right now, man, that FFBM really packs a lot more punch. Feels a lot more solid when you're chopping. Even though the combat grade does feel pretty solid, you don't feel it flexing around much or anything. But there's definitely a noticeable user experience between the two. All right, here we go. All right. Cool. All right, so they're both quite capable of chopping through a 4x4. But the FFBM is, the extra weight's nice on it. Okay, well, we just got done chopping the 4x4 with it, and with the FFBM, so now we'll go back to the webbing. See if we still have an edge. Oh yeah. Plenty of edge left on him. Didn't even phase it. One more control cut. There you have just some back and forth cuts. Alright, fantastic. All right, well, all the basic stuff is performed pretty well at. No problems. The edge still looks good. Starting to wear in the finish a little bit, but that's the way I like it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do some tip work. We'll see if we can dig a hole through a 2x6 with the FFBM. Now you can see how thick the tip is on this knife. And that's a lot of steel there. Alright, let's give it a shot. See how quick we can do this. It's like I can't get a bite. Just kind of rolls right out. Alright, with the blade being so thick, I can't get it's hard to get a bite. The tip is so thick, you know, some of the thinner knives, they just penetrate in a little bit deeper. Then I'm able to pry it up. But it's just kind of, it goes in and then it wants to tend to roll out. It's hard to get a bite. But the knife feels real solid though. That's for sure. That's a little harder than I thought to do this job with this knife. It's just so bloody thick. And so far no tip damage or anything like that, but I really kind of don't expect it to on this type of thickness. Well, we're getting there, but a little bit slow going.
Through.
Alright, we're through. See if I make it a little bigger. Just can't get a bite on it. It's kind of hard to perform this task, but with this knife, because it's so thick and it kind of takes a bite, and then it just kind of round right here on the edge, and it kind of rolls up. It doesn't take a good bite, but anyways, it just kind of wants to kind of roll out when I stab in. There we go. Got a good chunk that time. Now I'm talking. What it was with that first one. I don't want to do it. And we got it through a second time. A little faster that time. Zero tip damage. It's got a lot of strength. No danger on no danger of breaking that tip on doing this. Not gonna happen. Just not gonna happen. Okay, well so far it's passed everything. Knife's still 100% intact. We still have the tip. Just dug the holes through the 2x4s or 2x6. So now I'll go ahead and stab into some sheet metal. And it's a pretty heavy gauge sheet metal right here. Came off the back of an old trailer you pull behind a lawnmower. Already had some knife testing in it. But let's see how well the FFBM tackles this. Alright, here we go. So far, no tip damage. Of course, the tip is so thick, though, it's not getting like really super deep penetration. And I'm really hitting it really hard. Almost sprained my wrist on that last one. All right, here we go. Let's continue. Has zero tip damage. That's going to hurt this tip. Definitely one heavy hog. Right, here we go, let's continue. Again, zero tip damage. Of course, it's not getting like super deep penetration, but it's just super thick. Definitely not great for penetrating. Yeah, we just we wore the finish off a little bit. No big deal. Looking good. Looking good. Looking good. Got a hole right there. those are some hard, hard thrusts, man. Tip still looks perfect. Alright, let's continue. Man, that's about all my hand can take. Oh, man.
The knife broke the tester.
Don't say that. I ruined my reputation, man. Yeah. Yeah. I don't even see any blunting on it. So far the FFBM has survived everything so far, so I'm going to go ahead and start doing some hammer impacts on the spine into the 2x6. Go ahead and just hammer it in, start taking out sections of this 2x6. Alright, here we go. Using a 3-pound steel mallet. Well, all we did was just knock the finish off of it. I don't even see it denting or anything like that. Alright, cool. Let's continue. Okay. Yeah, so far we haven't even probably put a little dents on the edge where we caught it, but that's about it. It's not hardly denting at all. Taking some pretty heavy blows. Alright, here we go. Just put a few little minor dents right here. You see where I'm hitting it. This area I'm hitting it in. Feels pretty solid. Alright, one more slice. Woo! Alright, see the area I'm hitting on. Just a little bit of denting, not much, hardly any denting actually. Not much at all. It's a B so far. Actually knocked the, here I just noticed those impacts, we knocked the handles loose. Got some play in them now. They're not as tight anymore. Other than that, so far so good. Cool. Okay, well the only thing we've done so far is we just kind of knocked the handles loose. That's it. They're still together. We're going to cut some webbing real quick again after we did all that. Yeah, still got all the edge left. Cool. Alright, fantastic. Just the handles coming loose, that's it so far. Okay, well, at this point, the only damage we've done is it looks like we bent this tube, the stainless steel tube that holds the pins together. And we just... You can see how the handles are out of alignment and they're moving. I can't push them down, so it's telling me right now that that pin bent in there. And that was just from doing all the hammer impacts. Wasn't even hitting on the hammer, just we hit so hard on it and I was pulling up on it, just holding onto the grip, and it just bent, it pulled up and bent that pin. There was so much upward force and downward force being applied at the same time. So we bent that pin. Other than that, looks okay so far. So let's move into let's do the concrete, see how well it can handle that. Alright, here we go. Well, we don't have any chipping, but we have some dents on the first few hits. I don't see any chipping. Just denting. Okay. Let's go back. Alright, let's continue. Again, I don't see any chipping. Just some nice denting. That's it. Alright. And we're taking some big chunks out of this concrete though. That's for sure. Rain and concrete. Woo! Oh, yeah, we just got some nice denting going on it. Looks good. No chipping at all. That's what I do like to see. Getting a nice concrete chopping edge on it. Alright, so far so good, man. It's really taking some serious wax at this thing. Alright, let's continue. That's what I'm talking about. Annihilation. Yeah, the edge looks really good though. Doesn't look bad at all. No chipping. Just some nice denting. Fantastic. Let's do this other side. Ah. Okay, here we go. Again, no chipping at all. This could, at this point, it could definitely very easily be resharpened on this portion. We haven't done any damage other than we just dented and blended the steel. That's really about it. Yeah, not bad, man. Serious concrete killer. Alright. Alright, this concrete's about 2 inches thick. Right here is what we're cutting into. Pretty much annihilated that section of concrete easy. Awesome. Okay, let's do some. Let's hammer the edge into the concrete. Pull back a little bit. Yeah. Again, no chipping.
Hold it up, I'll pull it close.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we just gotta get a nice little blunt edge going on it, that's it. Yeah, that's a concrete killer, man. Woo! Not bad at all. Again, I don't see, I don't have any chipping, man. It's just all dents. Alright. Kick ass. Yeah, the empty's doing really well, man. No chipping at all. I'm really whacking the shit out of that concrete with it. And trust me, man, it's raining concrete in this place. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to do it with one more piece of concrete. This is the same stuff I used on a few of the other tests. This has a lot of big rock in it. I don't have any more full slabs of this, but I used it on about 3 tests, including the Scrapyard Scrapper 6. So this has got a lot of rocks. This other stuff has smaller rocks in it, but this has got some bigger chunks. So we'll go ahead and try the FFBM on this. See what happens. Ready? Here we go. Yeah, I mean, we just did a dead blow on that rock and nothing so far, man. Just chipping. Let's see. Here we go. Now, see, that's a lot harder right there, that concrete. That's some tough stuff. So we got even some more denting in here. We dented it quite a bit. But it doesn't look like any type of chipping has occurred. None at all. Just looks like some nice denting. You can see the sparks really fly when I hit that rock. That's some much harder stuff to get through. Yeah, Battle Mistress took it though. It did it. Cool. Okay, now I'll do a standing test on the Battle Mistress. I got it clamped in about 1.5 inches away from the handle. Maybe about 1 inch actually. There we go. Got all my weight off the ground. Bouncing up and down on it. Feels real solid, real secure. Balance. Put one foot on top of the other. Feels real solid. There you go. I weigh 225 pounds. I've got all my weight on top of it. I'm bouncing up and down on it right now. Feels very solid, very secure. Yeah. Cool. Feels real good. Let's take the knife out. See if we bent it. Still looks nice and straight. Alright, so we know about 2¼ inches out for sure that'll, from the end of the blade, it'll support 225 plus pounds of bouncing load. That's quite a bit of weight. Very strong, very strong. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and drive the tip into some concrete, see if we can break it apart. Test this tip out a little bit further. So far the knife's done extremely well. We did plenty of chopping, no problem. Batoning, not a problem for it. It cuts really well. Did a body weight test, survived that, no problems there. The only thing we have, any type of really damage that we have, or if you want to call it that, I guess, but we just bent this pin up here on the top when we took the hammer in fact. This type of damage down here on the concrete, that's to be expected, and that's fine. We don't have any chipping, we just have nice denting. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for any type of chipping, and I certainly don't want the blade to break during that, and that's not what happened. So it looks fantastic. Alright, now we'll try to, now we don't have much of a, this knife's not really set up exactly to hammer on the butt here because it's kind of got a point on it, but we'll give it a shot anyway. I always like to do this test. It's a good way to really test the tip out, see how strong it is, and also see how chip resistant it is. Here we go. See what it can do. Okay, here we go. Keep it in full frame. There we go. Let's take the tip out. Yeah, just a little blunting, but didn't break it. Didn't chip out anywhere. Just a little blunting. That's no big deal. Yeah, we just have some blunting and denting on the tip, that's it, but we don't have any type of chipping or breakage or anything. That's a very, very stout little tip on this thing. It's a serious tip for some hard use work, man. Nice. Actually, it works quite well to hammer into this. I was kind of didn't. It's not flat, but the point up here is kind of in line with the center of the blade, so it's not offset. I was really kind of thinking it'd be offset, it'd be awkward to hammer like that, but it's not. Actually, this little point up here where it's actually have a nice little spot to hammer. Yeah, no tip damage. Just some denting, blunting, that's it. That's fine. That's to be expected, no big deal there. Fantastic. Yeah. It's doing pretty good. Doing well. Let's look at the back here where we hammered it. We just kind of dented it a little bit. Didn't do any chipping or breaking back here or anything like that. Just kind of flattened it out a little bit. Alright, well, it's doing well so far, doing fantastic. Okay, now we'll do a flex test with the Busse FFBM. I got it mounted in the vise. I got it about 1.25 inches mounted inside from the tip. So I'm just going to use my human strength to do this. And we have the scale set up where it's 0. So let's see how well we can flex. Alright, here we go.
Closing in on 20.
Pull back a little bit. Pull, zoom in a little bit. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. Okay, pull down. Zoom in. Okay, that's it right there.
Good.
Alright, see if you can call it off. Sorry about that, guys.
I was closing in on 40 degrees, it looks like, from here.
Alright, here we go again. harder.
Get about 30.
Alright, here we go again.
Yeah, get it to 40.
Pull back all the way and get me in the shot.
Okay.
Alright, let me show you guys what I'm doing. Alright, ready, go ahead.
Yep.
I got all my weight holding up against it right here. An inch and a quarter in. I'm completely off the ground. 1 foot ahead of me. It's holding all my weight. Yeah, that's strong. Wow. Pretty awesome. Blades return back to 0. Alright, let's try it again. Go ahead and zoom in on the scale.
Yeah.
And pull back. Okay, there we go. Stay right there. Pull the camera down a little bit. Up, up. Alright. Alright, here we go. Now, Mike. So you guys, if you can see exactly where it's flexing at. How many degrees?
Get it almost to 40, I think.
35 or so. Alright, one more time. And I can take all my force and weight and be pushing up against it. Got some tremendous lateral strength, man. Tremendous. Alright, yeah, passed that test. Alright, cool. Okay, well, so far it's gotten through everything. So now we'll go ahead and see if we can hammer it through the edge through some steel and see if we can shear through it. Got a piece of about 1.5 inch stock by 1/8 inch by 1.5 inch mild steel stock mounted in the vise. Good steel. Alright, here we go. Alright, man. We got through it. We just dented the edge up a little bit. We didn't even, we didn't tear it out or anything. Wow, fantastic. See where we sheared it? Went all the way through it. Alright. Cool. Fantastic, man. That's a brutal part of the test, man. It usually breaks most of the knives. Or it really tears them out or breaks some of them. They all can't get through that, so. But if you have, alright man. That's cool. Alright, fantastic. Okay, well we got one last test to do. And that's, we're going to do some side impacts on the Tang. See how much it can take. So we got the FFBM. We're going to mount it in the vise. About 1 inch or less from the Tang. Got it mounted in. We're going to use the 3-pound steel mallet. And I'm going to whack the shit out of the side of the Tang right here. See how much it can take. Alright. There we go. Just loosen the handles. No big deal. There we go. Woo! Yeah, that's tough, man. Empty's tough, no doubt. I ain't done yet. These G10 handles are holding up quite nice. They're loose. We knocked the pins loose, but they're not taking that much damage up here. I'm really giving it some really good wax. Cool. Alright, let's do it again. Better up. I can't break it. It is fun though. Let's do it again. Woo! That's tough, man. I'm telling you, I'm giving it everything I've got. And I can't break it. What's wrong with this knife? It won't break. Try it again. Woo! Man, she's tough. There ain't no doubt about it. With all the damage we've done to the handles. Man, I've thrown everything at it that I have in my testing lineup, and it wasn't enough. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and declare it a survivor of the destruction test. Definitely the toughest, strongest one yet. Even tougher than the Scrapyard Scrapper 6. I had a lot of some chipping on the Scrapyard Scrapper 6. And we tore out some of the edges. And on a lot of the concrete smashing and stuff. But we have not done that on this. This stuff is not chipped at all. However, this is a destruction test. And it's not over until it breaks. So we're going to keep throwing stuff at it now. But I'm not going to really follow any really strict regimen of my testing lineup. I'm just going to keep throwing really hard stuff at it for the remainder of the test. So here we go. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and take the FFBM, just like we did with the Scrapper 6, and we're going to try to hammer through this tubing. Some pretty heavy gauge tubing. This is the piece that I used on the Scrapyard Scrapper 6. This was the first cut right here. We got almost all the way through, but I hit the weld down here. This was the second cut where it broke. I got the same tubing mounted in it over here. Exact same tubing. Same thickness, same everything. This was actually a section that was cut off of this piece. It's something I made that I didn't use, and so now it became knife testing material. So you got it chucked up. I'm going to use a 3-pound steel mallet. Remember, keep the knife in full frame. And here we go. Let's see if we can get through it. It's taking some serious impacts. Just can't get it to start cutting yet. It takes a lot of force to do this. And you see we still haven't chipped out the edge or tore it out or anything. Just put a few more dents in it, that's it. Alright, let's continue. Haven't done any chipping. It's taking some serious impacts. Just can't get it to cut. Let's pull it back a little bit where we got a sharper edge. See if we can get it to start cutting. Shit. Woo! Now that's tough. Sarah, look at the edge. Look at that, man. We haven't even torn it out. We hardly even dented it right here. At all. See if we can get through it. Alright, here we go. Woo! Yeah! Absolutely awesome! Fantastic! Man, look at that. That is bloody tough, man. Oh. Can't see the same thing from my hand. Look at the edge, man. And we haven't torn it out or anything. It's almost not even, it's not dented, hardly even dented back here. Absolutely crazy stuff, man. Look at these nuts, man. Shit. Crazy. Alright. Okay, well, this is the only thing that's happened so far. We lost this pin on the top of the handles. Just lost the top one. All the pins are loose. We kind of bent them up out of shape and everything. Just shows you all the force, man, it's taken to. And that thing's hitting down on my hand, holding on to it. Just bending these pins, these stainless steel tubing in here to hold the handles on. But that's no big deal. I mean, we held the knife still together, right? So that's all that matters. We don't even have too much edge damage at all. We haven't torn it out hardly anywhere. Just dented up on the concrete. I mean, hell, well, we sheared the steel. I mean, we hardly have any damage whatsoever. Hell, that's still a cutting edge almost, without a doubt. Back. Let's see if we can cut a little tubing. I mean, a little webbing. Of course, we dulled it out. But still has a little bit of cutting capability. Not much, but still, I mean, it wouldn't take much to get that sharp again. Alright, let's try again on the second piece. See if we can do it twice. I'm going to use the same edge where it's sharp. Alright, here we go. Oh, the handles just fell off. Like a 4. Damn, alright. Well, let's continue it. That hurt. Give me one of those Walden gloves. Oh, I got it. I got it. Needs to push. That hurt. Give me one of those Walden gloves. Oh, I got it. I got it. Needs to push. I need a little more shock absorbing material here. Alright. Alright, here we go. Oh shit, broke the workbench. Oh man. Broke the workbench. Shit. Damn. Man. You still have not torn out the edge at all. Okay, we had to reset our metal piece. And we broke the workbench down here. But we'll keep trying. Probably break the damn buds. I hope not, but we'll see. Man, this is tough. This is just bloody, unbelievably tough. Back. We actually got through it, but I hit the weld over here. Let's see if we can keep shearing through it. Let's see if we can keep going. We're right here on the edge of the weld. Let me show you. Maybe actually would have got through it easily. We'll see if we can shear through it some more, break this off. And here we go. And we finally broke it. And that was some serious hammer impacts. We would have easily got through this, but these were just dead blows coming up here on this weld. I was hoping I could shear it down a little bit and pull it off, but those were some serious hardcore hammer impacts. But let's see what happened. What's awesome though is we never tore out the edge. The edge never went. I mean, the edge is still in pretty good shape. We just kind of warped it on this last time. Pretty crazy.
Play for a second.
Okay, well, we just completed the Busse FFBM destruction test here at knifetest.com. Man, it took a pretty damn serious beating, man, before it finally gave in. This by far is definitely the toughest, strongest knife I've tested, without a doubt. Scrapyard Scrapper 6 is very tough too. It's thinner than this one, but the edge wasn't anywhere near as stable as the Busse was. I mean, we just have very little damage on the edge throughout the entire thing. I mean, we just never had any tearing or chipping or anything along the edge. Even where we just completely hammered through that tubing, I mean, we didn't even hardly damage the edge. I mean, we cut through one piece, we sheared completely through it, and we would have sheared through the second piece without no problem, but I hit the weld. So I went ahead and did some really dead blows against that weld, because those were completely dead blows. It wasn't going to give, it wasn't going to do anything. And it took quite a few blows, man, heavy blows with everything I had, before it finally did give in. And we broke it right there, almost right down the middle of the Busse Combat logo. But, yeah, I mean, and it's a chopping machine, there's no doubt about that. I don't care what you're chopping. You're chopping wood, hell. I mean, it's got so much weight and power behind it, man. I mean, we just broke the 2x4s. Took a few bites out of the 2x4s and it snapped. Boom, it just broke them right in half. We batoned with it. You know, no problem. I had a little trouble with the first 2x4. It's, you know, it's thick. The knife's kind of thick, but sometimes the 2x4s you never know about them. It's wood, or we had knots in it, so
4x4.
4x4, and you never know sometimes about them. They're hard to split. But yeah, I mean, other than the handles coming off, really, that was the only mainly problem we had. Failure, as you can kind of say, a preliminary failure, anyways, with the handles. We just bent these tubes, or broke a few actually, because we had so much upward impact holding onto the handle and hitting downward on the handle. I mean, we just pretty much sheared up the tubes and bent them and broke them off, and they finally fell out. And the tip is extremely tough. And the tip is extremely tough and thick on this knife. It's very difficult to break. I put all my weight on it with a flex test. I mean, you saw in the video where I was holding on to it, pulling, yanking on it, and pulling. And we got it to about 35 degrees. The tip was inserted about 1.25 inches in, about right here. And we pulled it over, and I couldn't break it. It didn't break. Extremely strong laterally. Did the body weight test, all 225 pounds, bouncing on it. No problem there, easy. Did the tip work, dig some holes to a 2x4. It's a little harder to do on this one because it's thick. The tip is thick, so it doesn't bite in. The thinner ones with the really thin profile tips, they'll bite into the wood. They usually go through, perform that task a lot quicker. This one's very thick, so it kept kind of wanting to roll out when I try to pry up. And what it is really, it's just to test the tip on it, see how strong it is anyways, see if we have any damage to it. And the Battle Mistress took it with no problem. Very easy to do with the Battle Mistress. No danger of it breaking there. So yeah, but man. So when we finally got to the tubing, like I said, we sheared through one section. And I took some serious, well, that is the hardest thing I do, is to try to shear it through metal. If a knife is going to break, it's going to eventually give out on that. The question is, how long can it go, and can you shear through at least a few pieces of metal? At least we got through the first 1/8 by 1.5 inch piece of stock, no problem. We cut through it, didn't do any tearing out, nothing. They took all the hammer impacts. I mean, the spine's not even dented up hardly. There's hardly even any dents. So it's some very hard material, and it's very hard metal, without a doubt, because we just did not. I mean, you can see the spine. I mean, it's not even hardly any dents on it at all. It's not dented up. All we did was really just tear the finish off. That tells me it's a very hard material, extremely hard, but extremely tough. Hard and very tough. And oh yeah, man, it just I think it lived up to beyond my expectations, or maybe more than what I thought it would do, or what I was expecting for it to do. I really had my doubts whether I was going to break it or not. But yeah, we finally did it in. But man, it put on a hell of a show. That's for sure. It's a beast, and that's a beast of a blade, man. So, well, there you have it. So it's finally complete after waiting 1 year since I started all this. The Busse FFBM Fat Fusion Battle Mistress. Now this is Imphy too. I mean, the steel is Imphy, and it's just extremely tough stuff. Does not chip hardly. It doesn't chip at all. We didn't have any chips, and yeah, fantastic, man. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I tried to break the Tang on the side, and I ball up the hell out of her, and I could not break it. We never even bent it, you know. I mean, it's still at 0 degrees, man. All the metal is still at 0. I mean, we don't have any bending or anything. None at all. So, really a fantastic blade. And it's a good cutter, too. You know? I mean, I know that some of those people out there that say Busses don't cut, but that's just a load of crap. Because Busses cut fantastic, man. My combat grade cuts fantastic. And this is a very thick knife. You know, this is .310 of an inch. You know, of an inch thick. I mean, it's just thick. You know, I mean, so it has a great edge on it. I mean, it has a very great edge, good geometry, and it did some really fine controlled cuts in the webbing. And like I said, you know really quick with this stuff whether a knife cuts or not. And they cut right through it with no problem, especially being so thick, you know. Yeah, I mean, thick knives, sure, they can cut. That's not a problem, you know. It's got to do it right. It's got to be done right. And Busse did it right. So, yeah, it's a fine knife all the way around. Like I said, it's a chopping powerhouse. And so it's, yeah, fantastic, man. So this one's definitely going to go down as the best one of the best. It's best true survivor with almost hardly any damage whatsoever. And and we finally have the extra stuff that we do beyond the test that even went through that. Yeah, it would have still, we could have easily resharpened it up, still had plenty of life left in it, you know. But and could have used it, I'm sure, for many years. But our quest is to see exactly how tough it is, so we have to keep pushing them until they go. And we finally did, and she went. But yeah, awesome blade, man. Awesome blade and steel and everything's fantastic, man. Awesome stuff. Alright, well, that was a pretty wild test, no doubt about it, man. The Busse FFBM took a serious pounding. Pounded me too, man. Really wore me out. But, man, my hands are almost shaking from it. From all that hitting on those hammers. Those are some brutal impacts. So, yeah, it's time to now celebrate with a fine smoke. Yeah, life is good, man. Construction test with the Busse FFBM. Got to beat the shit out of it. It was fun. It was a blast. Learned a lot about it. Now hanging back, smoking a fine cigar. How much better can life get? So long, man. From KnifeTest.com.